Andy's going, he's getting ready for Pesach, he's already going.
Shir sponsor Lui Nishmas Our Biak Sholem Leabas Yitzchok. We're holding in Bobekamo Daf Tzadik Aleph. We're going to start in the Tzaikim base in the two dots, 6 lines at the bottom. The Gemara says, Tona Rabbanan, Short time Shehimis Vihizik Danim Otodin Foshois Vein Danim Otodin Momnes. Short time who killed. We know already learned earlier in the Masechta that short time you go even the moment migufay from his body. So if you have to kill him, he's worthless, right? So therefore, if he killed and he did a nezek, you do din nefashos, which takes away the money, but takes away the nefesh. They ain't doing the din moments because now we can't take it from his migufay. Muad shehi misveizik. If you have a muad who did a misa nezek. Tanim to dinim moments, because you do dinim fashos. You do dinim moments first. He's chayav the moments, and then you do dinim fashos. Kadu with the new dinim fashos. If you did dinim fashos first, ain't chayiv with dinim to dinim moments. If you did dinim fashos first, you don't do dinim moments after by muad. So more, why not? Kadu with the new dinim fashos. My have it. What's the problem? Liade v'lidane nami moments. Why do you do moments afterwards? Anyway, sure, muad is not going to be migufay. So even though you're going to kill the shar, you can still take the money from the owner. Says the Gemara, I saw the Rabbanan of Beirav, it said that it said, we learned, right in the end of yesterday's daf, we learned the Machlekes of Shimon HaTimni in Rabbi Akiva. Does Beis Din need to be able to evaluate the killing product, the killing machine, the killing instrument, the murder instrument? Or they don't have to evaluate it, as long as the Eidim say it's what it is, you trust them. Rabbi Akiva says the Eidim is enough, and Rabbi Shimon HaTimni said you need to have Beis Din. So says the Gemara, according to what?
The Eidim come and say,
the Eidim come and say, we saw that he took a big stone, and the stone was the size of 2 by 2, this, that's enough. Or you say no, the Beis Din have to actually go and value. They have to measure. They have to see the actually murder instrument.
they would have to say that detail. Then say we saw.
No, they have to say detail so we can value it if he was supposed to be killed by that.
They took a big stone and threw it.
You have to say what it is. Oh, what's the size of the stone? Okay, that was yesterday's daf. Anybody who was yesterday's daf could have discussed it. But so no, say Shimon HaTimni holds that if Eidim comments, it's not enough. The Beis Din have to actually see it in their own eyes. And Kiva says, no, they don't have to see it. They can trust the Eidim. Now, according to Shimon HaTimni, they have to go and evaluate the murder instrument. So Gemara says the following. You need to have the Beis Din evaluating it. Hakeva and the Gomer Dino Lekatlo. But now that you need to kill this shar, we don't go and wait for the Umdana of Beis Dino. We don't do Inudin. We don't wait. So if you have to go and evaluate, you have to take the shar, to start measuring him, you have to figure he's supposed to be killed, you kill him. You don't wait. So that's why if you did Dinim Mominus first, you go first of all do Dinim Mominus, you say, okay, let's take out the money for him. Then you do the Nefashos, you go to kill him. But if you did first do the Nefashos, you have to kill him, you don't wait to evaluate who he is. According to what the Gemara says. Says the Gemara, I told him, I feel tamer Rabbi Akiva. You want to say Rabbi Akiva? Talk about the fact that he ran away. Who ran away? The owner. The owner ran away. So that's why you can't go and do a din of dinim moments. So when you barach, you learn the new din of fashos, echad din like dinim moments, below you buy them. So what do you mean? If you ran away, so what do you say? If they didn't do dinim fashos first, you will do dinim moments. If they did do dinim fashos, you don't do dinim moments. How can you do dinim moments? The owner's not here. If it would be bought, you have to buy them. So you can't come on the Shabbat, Rashi says. So the more the Kabul saw the Ubarach, he had 8 in the came, and then he ran away. So what's say so Mechem Ishtalim? And end of the day, where are you paying? Mibidyo. Right? So before we get to the answer, what is this? There was Eidim on the Gichos and Ibarach. So if so, and therefore what? Rashi says, if you look at Loshem Rashi, the Kabbalah Sada and the Gichos Ibarach, you don't have where to pay from, right? So that's right. Now, the one at the beginning wanted to say he ran away. You didn't do it in front of him. He's like, no, you did it in front of him, and he ran away. What's the problem? There's no properties. So if you have a shor and wood before he hadn't did it in flushes, you can take a little bit from the shor. Once you did it in flushes, you can't. Says the Gemara. Says 1 second. If you ran away, where are you going to take away the valuation? Miridio. What does it mean, miridio? You're going to wait. The shor needs to be take dinim moments. You have to do it in flushes. So what do I say? You say, okay, let's do first of all dinim moments. The guy owes $150. What are you going to do? Take the shor, plow with the shor. Let's say a plowing costs $10 a day. 15 days you plow with it. You get your $150 worth, then we'll kill the shor. That's what we do. Same thing do by tam. The tam and the mood are the same thing. What's the difference between tam and mood? Mood, you mishal min aliyah. You go to the owner's properties. We're talking about a case there's no owner's properties. So the tam and the mood are the same. So before you do dinim nefashos, do dinim momis, do plow with it, and then you take it back. So oh, that's the answer. Ridio, plowing with a shor, that's considered to be aliyah. That's considered to be the taking from the property. That's not considered to be taking from the shor. When I have a shor who plows, who am I taking the money from? From the shor or from the owner? Says the more, we're taking the money from the owner. Because the owner owns a shor. So okay, well, before you kill it, before you go to the nefashos, let's use the shor. How are you going to use the shor? You're going to play with it. Very nice. But short time, you don't take min aliyah. You take only migufay. Plowing is not migufay. So that's a short time, you don't plow with it. Short boy, you do plow with it. That's a more expensive difference. Okay. That was really a side point more to Hemshech, but we learned yesterday. Now the more goes on and says, I don't
want to go back to yesterday, but I'm saying it's not like you could the shore, like the body of the shore is not worth. We're assuming it's not worth the money. If you killed it,
no, that's not the way. Even if it's worth the money, you're going to kill it in a moment.
No, you killed the shore now, but now there's a skin.
No, you're not allowed to enjoy. Sure, in Niskal, you cannot enjoy its skin. It's also by no.
Okay, that's from before, right?
Right. That's not yesterday's shir. That's today's daf. It's good. That's a good question.
Okay, Mendy.
It's okay. My Yibaylu. Yesh oimid lenezikin or ein oimid lenezikin. What's oimid lenezikin? Oimid lenezikin means that there is a. Do we go and evaluate for nezikin? We did say that you evaluate for miso. That's what we just spoke about before. What about nezikin? Meaning, let's go back to what we spoke about in yesterday's daf. If I have a stone, a person took a stone and threw it on his friend, and his friend died. You don't right away kill the friend. You need to know if the stone has the ability to kill. If it happens to be they took a little pebble and he threw it on his shoulder and the guy died, you say it's not his fault. How he died? It's not because of the stone. The stone, the size of the pebble, doesn't kill. It needs to have the ability to kill. Says the Gemara, Mi amrinon lekatnu da amrinon be'achi nafka neshama be'achi nafka neshama. Nafka be'miso, we evaluate, does it take the neshama out or not? Aval in neziki koldu, but nezikin, I don't care. If you cause the nezek, I don't care if it has the ability or not. When I say got hurt, you pay. But nezikin also needs to, you have to evaluate if that instrument is able to do the nezek it did. Bar needs to be a 10 tefachim in order to be able to kill. If it was less than 10 tefachim. And the shor chamor fell into it and died, potter. Who's a boy chayav? If there's a nezek chayav. So I want to ask, what does it mean? If it wasn't 10 and it was a nezek, you're chayav. It wasn't 10, but it was what?
Less.
So you understand, less means anything less, from 1 to 9. 1 can make a nezek. No, there's nothing. Meaning from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is a nezek. From 1 to 10, miso leiko, nizikiniko. There's no miso, there's nizikin. You see that Nizikin is even the smallest amount. You see that you don't value for Nizikin. I don't care if the Nizikin has the ability to cause the Nezik or not. Says they want to know. You go from the top to bottom. In other words, what he's saying is like this. 10 is Misa. Less than 10 is not Misa. 9 is Nizikin. 8 is Nizikin. 7 is Nizikin. 6 maybe. 5, 4 no. I'm not saying all the numbers will be Nizikin. If you have 10, you have Misa. Less than Purto, a little less than 10, Nizikin is so Misa Leko. You have Nizikin or Misa. You do evaluation for Nizikin. You need to have evaluation. A 9 board tefach can really break the 2 legs and 2 hands. A 1 tefach can do a scratch. Everything is basic. What it can do? Let's come on another right. Toshma. You die, you mean blind. Al oznoi v'chirshi. You hit the ear, you mean deaf. Eved yotzeh be'em l'chirs. The Eved goes out. Keneged eino ve'eino roi. If he didn't go on the eye, he did next to the eye, and he can't see. Keneged oznoi ve'eino shirei. He did next to the ear, and he can't hear. Ein eved yotzeh be'em l'chirs. Not yotzeh l'chirs. Why? Because doing a hit next to the eye, not on the eye, should not make him blind. And I became blind. That's not my fault, says the other. My time, you see, you need to have evaluation. It needs to be a makov that can do it. So, there is different. There he says nothing to do with the makov. The makov just scared him, startled him, right? Made him a little jump, and then he lost his eye. It wasn't the other; it was the evidence himself. Kedetanias, we learn the Brayso. Hamavis is chaver, someone who scares his friend, pot and he causes him a nezik. Pot midin yodem chaver din shamayim. It's pot midin yodem chaver din shamayim because shamayim you did something wrong, but din yodem you didn't do anything direct. Keitza, what's the case? Tako beoznoi, he blew into his ear v'chershemin and deaf. Potter, because he scared him. Also, if you hold his ear and blew into it, the guy couldn't run away, could stop him, so then he's chayav. So you see over here the difference between something which is considered to be a direct damage, or something which is not direct, to be derived so you're not chayav. The 5 tashlumim that a person needs to pay this when you're down with his friend, you do evaluation, you give it to him immediately. As we show him explain, Rashi, Tosis, come to exclude other Rishonim, that what's the evaluation for Ripur Shabbos? Until he heals. Whatever it takes. You do evaluation. So, how long will it take this guy to be hospitalized? How long he needs a doctor? Oh, it's going to be 2.5 months of recovery. That's what you pay. If they measured, they said, oh, he needs to be 2.5 months, and he sees not healing so quickly. You don't have to pay more. You go based on evaluation. Amdu v'hivri, v'sim kol ma shamdu. Now what happens to evaluate him? Oh, they did a cheshbon $10,000 to be in the hospital for 2.5 months. The guy healed faster. It took him only 3 weeks. What do you do with the extra money? The extra money goes to the patient. Why? Because, as we're going to say in a moment, in the Shemayim, he had a mazal in Shemayim. Shemayim, they healed him. They really deserve the money. You see that you do value him. Right? Says the more name of the God. Of course, you want to know how long the guy will be in bed, how long he needs to be healed. Then, of course, we value it because we have to know what it is. Of course, we measure it. We want to know when someone took a rock and threw it on the guy and damaged his eye, is that do you value it or not? My Toshma, Shimnatim Yoimer Maegrov Miyuchot Shemosu Leidim Leidim. I've called Miyuchot Shemosu Leidim Leidim. We learn from Egrif. Egrif, we talk about Anisa. Someone who punched his friend, you have to come and evaluate the punch. So you want to know, is it strong enough? Was the speed strong enough? Was the swing strong enough? It's possible delayed, you need to go and evaluate. Even by Niziki, you do in Umdana. Very good. Says the one man, right? They valued him, and they saw they gave him first of all money, but he healed faster. They made a value a cheshbon. He needed to be in bed for a full day, but he came out of bed after half a day. They called me the Vita and he's going to work. Yeah, we didn't lay the kuliyam, he gave him the whole payment. From Shemayim, they are Rechwanas in him. Because the one it says, we spoke about different things that cause boishes. If he spit on him, but if you spit on his clothing, you don't pay the boishes. So when we have a kibiyesh b'dvarim, well, it's like someone embarrassing somebody else. He didn't hate his body, but he embarrassed him. Me? The same Marav, Mishpeh Davis, Mahabin, the Samaris, Bisho, Bidvarin, Pator, Miklom. Someone who embarrassed somebody else, it's, we know, but mitzad dini or ilmaze, you can't, there's no damage, because damage is only a nezik. I took from you something which is worth money. This is not a actual damage. The Gemara says, the Mishnah said that you go based on the covet, and Rabbi Kiva said, well, we're going to value everybody the same way, because everybody is bnei Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov. Says the Gemara, Tanakama is coming to say do even less, because Rabbi Kiva said no, everybody should be the same amount, higher. Or Tanakama said you have to give even more. So Rabbi Kiva no, everybody has a standard amount which is even lower. Says the Gemara, the kulakama, the ikani, the loibai, the mishka kulai. Maybe the Tanakama says you don't have to give so much. Or he says, no, the rich guy, I have to give him much more. That was the loss of Rabbi Kiva. Even the poor, that you still look at them as that went out, the valuation, even them, the fact that Rabbi Kiva says, afilu, not just coming to act. Tanakama says you pay only this. He says, no, you pay even more. So Tanakama is the one who's more lekulo, Rabbi Kiva is the one who's more le chomer. So there was a person who went and unset the hair of the woman, and he made it have to pay 300. Now what happened? The story of the Mishnah. The guy said, "Give me some time. I'm gonna go. Let me see." And he tricked the woman to reveal her hair in the market. So why do you give him time to do it? We don't wait to pay. It's only when you lost money. So give him the money back as soon as possible. But if you're busha, you do pay. So he waited in Pesach Chatzera, brought the oil, and then she undid her hair in front of everybody else. You went down deep in the ocean and you brought little chers. So the Teres Chaim brings over here, because we see made there's a shas that the jewels are hidden below a cheres, below clay. So he says you dived in very deep to get to under the cheres, but you brought in the cheres. A person is allowed to hurt himself, and then we can't bring a right from what she did to herself. So Gemara is bringing a question. We said in the Mishnah, Adam is not rasha the chal b'atzma. A person is not allowed to hurt himself, and we're saying you're allowed to hurt yourself. It depends. The Chabala, you're not allowed to yourself. But boishes, you're allowed to. Our Mishnah talk about boishes. That's a gavun base. The Ketanya Chil Be'atzal B'Shein Rasha I put it to you now. Do it to yourself. Hachikom. Lo you buy a boishes though the Rosh Levash. That's why not only boishes a person can do it himself. And I feel Chabala they know the Rosh Levash. Even Chabala a person not allowed to hurt himself. So all the people that are chayvulim are chayiv. Says the Gemara, is a person not allowed to hurt himself? If a person says, I want to damage myself, and he didn't do it, you have a permission. You can say, well, you can do something good for yourself. You can do something bad. It's part of the nidar. A person who did a shvur to hurt himself didn't hurt. He needs to pay. He needs to pay for it. He's not talking about damaging oneself, but being in a fast. So according down when the Mishnah there speaks about causing damage to others. You want to tell me making them fast? How can he put someone else in a fast? So he takes someone hostage. He puts someone in a room and he locks the door. So what's a Rosach? I'm going to hit somebody after damage his brain. So you see clearly you could damage. So, and we said by himself, he's allowed to do it. This is one that holds one cannot hurt, damage himself. One that holds you could damage yourself. Who's the one that says you're not allowed to hurt yourself? Maybe it's a following Tanya. After it says in the pasuk by Noach, I'm going to demand from you your own blood. It's called a deal makatashani. He's talking about killing yourself. The person who commits suicide, there's a taina. Then a kishbul comes to you. Here, by the way, there's some of the first you bring. What do you mean? What do you mean he's going to? What is he going to do? He killed himself. So how kishbul is going to punish him? You see that there's always the neshama doesn't leave the body, even by a guy. There's a neshama, there's a nefesh that can be punished. So when you could do kriya when a person died. That's the way to do kriya. Someone who does too much of a kriya, that's all dashkes. The coach can go for it. If you can't do batashkes or with your clothing, of course you can't do it with your body. Maybe clothes are different. Because clothes is something that doesn't come back. How do we see that? We learn Masechet Shabbos. He called his clothing what gives me covet. When Chizda went through the thorns, the money. He picked up his clothing not to get torn by the thorns. His body is going to get damaged. There'll be scratches in his body. So yeah, the body will heal. But the clothing, they torn out. It's why I know it's a different price. You talk about a nazir. He has been kapara that he did something wrong. What did he do wrong? He caused himself not to drink wine. The nazir said not to drink wine. So he caused him tzar. Someone who causes himself damage by not allowing himself to drink wine. It's good to be a choyte. That's what we call dover. The person who's causing any pain to himself, so it's also. So that's the time. So like more learns the b'chik's tanoim. Can a person damage himself or not? We pass the person cannot damage himself. There's a beautiful the Reuven Margolius brings in the name of the Ridvaz on the Rambam that he says what's the pshat? Because the body doesn't belong to us. Because we'll give it to us to use. Can do with it whatever we want. As the Ridvaz, that's the pshat that's different than money. With my money, I can do whatever I want. I can throw the money away. The body is not mine. And Pasha, the Ridvaz says, fits very nicely with the Gemara tells us in a few places that tzaddikim chavim lehem mamoinam yosem begufim. So it's brought down in the Svarim. Why tzaddikim chavim lehem mamoinam begufim? Because the moment is theirs, and they made a kedusha. The guf is not theirs; they were born with it. So the moment has more of a cheshivos. So that's one nekuda. There's another kudo that Reuven Margolius brings on the Sefer, or that he has in Sefer Chasidim. A discussion is the fact to damage yourself. Is that Yisur D'Oraisa, as Nashif Ragmar, or it's Yisur D'Rabbanan? And the tshuvas are full of it. For example, one of the idea of tshuvas is: could a person do a plastic surgery to himself? He doesn't need it; he just wants to do it for beauty, but he's causing damage to his body. Hey, it's going to look better, but he's causing damage. Right now, he's doing cutting, etc. Can you do an elective surgery? Right? What about damaging yourself? Big discussions in the place scheme, a lot about it. Why? It has to do with the kudo. Can a person damage himself with that? So the Gemara quotes says that Yosef to Mishnah go around and says someone who cuts a tree, so he cut his own trees. He cut his own trees, but someone else cannot cut his trees. Someone said to someone, you killed my ox. And my trees you cut off. So if the guy says, yeah, you told me to. What do you want from me? Butter. So then you butter. I'm going to kill the shark the chai lebiyasa. So nobody has life. You're saying that everybody could say, you told me to do it. So well, why does he have the right to say that? I'm like, I take it off and say this is wrong. I'm like, talk about a shore that is going to be killed. Talk about a tree that is going to be cut off. And I said, what are you doing? Why you took it off? He says, you told me to do it. Well, what are you saying? Anyways, to be cut off. It was a mitzvah. The shore needs to be killed, and the tree needs to be cut off because it's dangerous. I want to do the mitzvah. How is it? Means someone who does the shvichas of dam should also cover the blood. So somebody did shchita, he wanted to cover the blood. His friend went and covered the blood for him. It says you have to pay him 10 zuvim. That's a raya to the cost of a mitzvah, so to speak, of taking away someone's mitzvah. So zuvim, we have over there the same idea. It was brought down in the place keep when you have someone who has to go la Torah. It was called the Torah. Someone who rushed in and said Baruch Hashem Baruch. He did the bracha. So you stole him in 2 brachas, has to give him 20 zuvim. Right? Okay. 20 zuvim, 10 zuvim for each bracha. If you have a decal, a palm tree, that grows 1 kav of dates, also means that you can't cut it off. How much you need to have in the olives and that should not be cut? Roiva, a quarter of a kav. You're saying a full kav. Olives are chashuv. So even a small amount, you're not cut. But for a palm tree, it's a little more. My son Shivchas died. He cut a fig tree, and it's before it's time, when you still can grow fruits. If it's going to be a bigger valuation, it is worth more cut than not cut, mutter. It says in the pasuk that a tree, the Lashon pasuk is you can cut it off when you're doing a siege on a city. So when it says, like eitz shetei does is a ilumach, it's a fruit tree. Kiloi tzmachol is a ilan even ilan tzrak. V'chinachash shesevil rabbos kol dover if everything matter will loymar loy tzmachol. Like you have to pick and choose which one to cut. You cut the one which is a non-bearing tree, non-bearing fruit, or a non-bearing fruit tree, then a bearing fruit tree. You try to cut down first. Same one that's segmented with that. What happens if the tree is worth a lot? I tell you that if you have a better valuation, worth more cut off, so then you have you're allowed to cut it. So a shvuel isilei ariso tamri. Shvuel is sharecropper brought him dates. Ochil toibu tam dekam. As he eats it, he feels a little bit taste of wine, of grapes. Only my eye. Why does it have the taste of grapes? Omalei beine gufikaim. Says these date trees are between the grapes. They're ruining the wine, the grapes, ruining the dates so much. Tomorrow bring me from their roots, meaning cut off the tree. So it's ruining. It's worth more out than in. You're not allowed to cut a tree for no reason. But here I have a reason. I need to save the dates. Another example the Gemara brings of Chizdel Chazat Taili bin Gufri. He sees among the grape trees, he sees a tali. How do they translate tali? How it's called?
Palm saplings among the vines.
Palm saplings, okay? Only I read that krinu. You should think about it. Why? Gufri koni dikli. Dikli koni gufri. Meaning, for the money of the grapes, I could buy these palms. But for the palm tree, they're not worth so much. So in this case, in other words, in the previous case, the dates were worth more than the palms, than the wine, than the grapes. So you cut off the grapes to save the dates. In this case, the dates were worth less than the grapes. So you cut the dates to save the grapes. Right? In the first case, you cut the grapes to save the dates. And in the second case, you cut the date to save the grapes. So that's what it is, you have to cut it. So this really is the source of the Gemara that you're not supposed to cut a tree. Not only a fruit-bearing tree, even not fruit-bearing tree, you're not supposed to cut it unless it's worth more not cut. And that's why when a person is building, a lot of times a house, when you're building a house, they want to cut the tree for convenience. It's a little bit of a problem. So many of the tree cutters, they already know that the guy has to buy from you the tree. One of the tricks we do, you buy the tree, you sell the tree to the guy, and the guy cuts it. Because there's a problem to cut the tree, and there is, as Maharsha points out, that we compare the Adam to Eitz HaSadeh. Ki Adam Eitz HaSadeh. As the Torah says, the Rei Rashi explains that it means something else, but the Chazal and Tzivah Azor tell us that we're comparing Adam to an Eitz. We just told the Adam cannot damage himself. You can't damage yourself, you can't damage a tree. And that's part of the union over here, and more about it in the Shur Machshava tonight. Kol Tuv, Be'ez Hashem, will continue for the Mishnah tomorrow.